Hello, everybody. What is going on? This is Lucas from Swim Techniques, and today I've got a pretty awesome video to share with you guys. This is something that's been requested by so many of you out there who are always DMing us and just always chatting with the team here at Swim Techniques. A lot of people ask me, they say, Lucas, how did you break 2 minutes in the 200 butterfly? Well, today I'm going to answer that question, walk you guys through the very first time I ever broke 2 minutes in the 200 butterfly and teach you the secrets and the steps that I used to do that. So here I am in lane 4. This is a short course 200 meter butterfly. I was around 15, 16 years old, and we're going to watch it through and I'm going to talk about it, and then we're going to break into some of the details. So one of the most important things that you're going to want to take note of in this race, and what I can honestly say was one of the most crucial things for myself when I wanted to break 2 minutes, was that I knew my underwaters needed to be better. Because here's the thing, guys, doesn't matter who you are, at your top speed underwater, you are always going to be faster than you are above the water. So for months and months and months, almost even a full year, every single meter of swimming that I was doing was all underwater. I was 15-meter turns off of every single wall, every single practice without fault. If I was doing a 200 freestyle in warm-up, I'd be doing touch turns and 15-meter walls. Always, always, always. That was one of the most crucial things for me in developing what I thought at the time was the perfect 200 butterfly. My underwaters were one of the number one things that I used to break 2 minutes. If you're a butterflyer and you're not fully utilizing your underwaters, that is so much of your race that you're doing extra fly that you don't need to be doing. And all that's really going to do for you is tire you out, unfortunately. Whereas with underwaters, if you can train them and if you can make them work to your advantage, then they're going to be the most powerful tool you have. And it doesn't just have to be underwater work too. One of the problems I always had with my 200 meter butterfly was that my last 50 was always significantly slower than even my third or second 50. It was much, much slower. It would always be about a second or so, and I could never figure out what it was that was always making me die on that last 15, 20 meters. I could never, ever figure it out. And what I learned was that, yes, I need my underwaters, but on top of that, you also need to have insane kick endurance. So underwaters and kick endurance. I was never the kind of guy who liked to go 7, 8K workouts. Never, ever, and I never have been. But what I have done is a lot of fast dolphin kick, really building up kind of that feeling in my legs that I'm going to have towards the end of a 200 butterfly, and training that, knowing what that feels like, knowing how to adapt that, and making those gains. So underwaters and an insane amount of kick endurance. Now, when I say that, again, doesn't mean you have to be going 7, 8K. I find that training method to be very outdated, especially for a butterflyer. So that's kind of two of the first things that I really figured out that I needed to be doing. From there, I needed to learn how to maximize my stroke. And what I mean by that is that, or optimize is probably a better word. And what I mean by that is that every single stroke of my 200 butterfly needed to be serving a purpose, right? It needed to be taking me forward. It needed to be as perfect as it could be without wasting any energy. And one of my biggest secrets for that, and I talk all about it in the Butterfly Secrets course, is a little bit of what I like to call hang time. So what hang time is that distance out the back of your stroke, right? You come in for your first kick, and then you get a nice high elbow catch, and then with that second kick, you're launching forward. So when I enter the water, my butt is right here. And then that second kick takes it from here all the way to there, right? You want to be going at least, you want to feel like you're making and you're traveling at least 2 meters per stroke. That's always how I like to think about it. And what that hang time allowed me to do was, again, just to get a little bit of extra rest out the back of my stroke, but on top of that also maintain length, having insane length and insane distance per stroke. But as you can see while I'm swimming, I could even apply that to a high stroke rate butterfly. As you can see here, my stroke rate is high. I'm coming towards the end of the race, but I'm still getting that huge kick and that distance out the back. So that was another huge thing I was doing to really optimize my butterfly. On top of that, you see a lot of swimmers, once they've done their high elbow catch, they drop their elbows, right? They're kind of doing, they're bringing their arms in almost like a diamond, right? Like their hands are like a diamond at the end of their stroke. And what I learned about butterfly was that in conjunction with a huge hang time kick, so that second kick, one of the most important things I was doing and continue to do to this day is a little something that I like to call the two-arm freestyle. Again, this is another sort of tip that I teach all about in the Butterfly Secrets course, and really just to anyone who asks me about butterfly. And what I mean by that, honestly, guys, is that a butterfly pull is not that different from a freestyle pull. The only real difference is obviously the recovery and kind of the fact that, you're only using kind of one arm at a time in freestyle. But what I mean is that my arms are entering nice and skinny. They're getting that huge high elbow, and then most importantly, they're going from a straight line from that high elbow to the end of my stroke. Sometimes you kind of want to think about it like you have two separate train tracks that your arms are on, and they never ever deviate from that. Another thing that you're going to notice about the way I swam this 200-meter butterfly is that the way I came into the walls and did my turns was just a little bit different. I like to stay super low, and whereas some people when they turn, they like to fall back, as you can see, I kind of like to turn to the side a bit. For me, that was always the fastest way to push off. I was always faster if I were to time myself from when my hands touched the wall to when they left. I was always faster if I did that slight little turn to the side. On top of that, as I was saying with my underwaters, I really needed to make sure that I nailed my kick count. So I was going 8 kicks off of every wall except for the last 2 when I knew I was tired on that last 50 and I needed to maximize my underwater speed. I did 10 kicks. And I recommend that for everyone. Always do more underwater kicks towards the end of your race. It's the last 25, it's the last 50 meters. That extra little boost of speed underwater might be a little intimidating at first, but trust me, it's going to make a huge difference. So now I want to talk to you guys a little bit about how I paced this race. So I've always been a big fan of a track runner called Prefontaine. And what Prefontaine always said was that if you set the pace, then you control the race. So you can see even to the first 50, these are some of the fastest university swimmers in the country. And I love to take a 200-meter butterfly out fast. But when I say fast, I do not mean hard. There's a very clear distinction there. I'm going out fast, but in my mind, I am so calm and so controlled and very aware of the fact that I'm still going to have 3 more 50s to go. So to put it in terms of like a number, I would say my first 50 is 80%, and then it builds towards an 85%. My second 50 is an 85 to a 90%. My third 50 is a 90 to a 95. And then my last 50 is a 95 to a 100%. You want that slight gradual build as you're going through the race. You don't want it to be too quick and too jarring. Otherwise, it's going to shock your system a little bit too much and you're going to feel the fatigue. You want to essentially, for every 50 meters, the last 10 or so of those meters, you want to be building into the wall. So many swimmers slow down when they're going into the walls. They think it's kind of like a way to get rest, but really that is your time to shine and that is your time to make a move. So you're going out nice, calm, controlled. The second 50, you're starting to build it a little bit, but you're still trying to maintain that calm and easy controlled feeling. You just have to put a little bit more effort in. And then as you move towards that third 50, you need to make sure you're really starting to put the power into it. You're thinking about your goals. You're really driving towards the wall. And then the last 50 is all out, but with a slight build focusing on your underwaters. And for myself, my last 50, I knew my hang time kick, so that second kick, I knew it wouldn't be getting me quite as far per stroke, so I started upping my stroke rate and having a slightly wider entry and catch. This allowed me to keep my body position a little bit flatter and to really improve the speed of my last 50. So just quickly for you guys, underwaters were the first thing that were super important, working on my kick endurance. Then I moved on to hang time at the end of my stroke, a two-arm freestyle, talk to you guys a little bit about my turns, turning to the side, and then, of course, learning how to pace the race, that gradual build while still going all out. So those really were the major things that helped me break 2 minutes at such a young age. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I wish I had more time to share with you about all of my butterfly secrets, but if you're interested in hearing about the rest, you can just go to swimtechniques.com/butterfly secrets. In this course, I really dive into every single detail of my butterfly and teach it to you exactly how you want to hear it. I tell you everything you need to know. So swimtechniques.com/butterfly secrets for that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.